Chris O'Neill, welcome to the new Fearless and Devotion. Before we start, I'm a broken man. I've had 2 days at the cricket. I'm sweating beer, so I don't know how much good company I'm going to be on this. As you can tell, I can barely speak. Never mind conduct a popular Wrexham podcast. But anyway, enough of my woes. It's been quite a busy week, Tim, isn't it?
It has, but I'm just wondering how you've lost your voice at the cricket, first and foremost. Not the rowdiest of sports, is it?
No, it is on the west stand in Leeds, mate. It is, and I went to a walkabout last night. Wow, I didn't even know they still existed. It's like a real sort of examination of humanity. That place.
You sure you didn't imagine it? You're that drunk,
No,
you just imagined
I was
it.
definitely there, and I did some dancing, and I don't think I've done any dancing for about a good 5 years. But no, I pulled out, busted some moves. Yesterday.
We've seen your moves when drunk, and we don't need to talk about those. Very well documented.
We've seen them in Torquay, didn't we?
We did see him in Torquay. Some very questionable hand signals.
You said I was drunk.
Yes, busy
week. Anyway, right. First thing, membership prices. Liam, right? I've got no skinny in this game just because I've got a season ticket, and we've sort of already discussed that. That gives us the access. But for people like Reese, who need a membership to get tickets, it's been released this week. It's £40, I think, isn't it, Liam?
30, isn't it?
£30 for £30 for adults and £15 for junior dragons, which is, let's have a look. And is it under 11s? Is it? Am I right in saying? Yeah.
Okay. What do we get for that?
So, for your money, you also says all members will have access to a priority ticket window for Wrexham home games, which, as we know, is a good thing, but also can be pretty busy. But also access to the new ticket exchange system, which I think people are hoping are going to be a game changer. We'll see what happens when more is announced on that front. So, other than that, there's mention of a £75 discount off a flight with our new sponsors, United Airlines. Other membership benefits include a newsletter and a birthday email.
Wow, a birthday email. That would make my birthday. One thing, the ticket exchange is the thing that interests me. I mean, we don't know how exactly it's going to work, but if I was going to give up my ticket, I'd want to nominate who I could give it to, because there's quite a few people who would like my ticket, would get use out of it, and I can't make it up every home game. But I'm not sure that's going to be the case, is it? I think they're just going to go into a central pool, aren't they, Tim?
I don't know. I mean, you'd like to think they'll give you the option, because if you've got other accounts linked to yours, because I think you can have members linked to you, can't you? It's not just about season tickets. I'm sure you can have members linked to you as well. So on that basis, you think you would be able to go, right, I know somebody who wants it, but I can't get my ticket to them, so therefore I'll give it them digitally. Yeah. So I don't know. But I mean, I'll be honest. I don't think you're getting an awful lot there for your 30 quid. I just feel that there could have been a few more kind of exclusive benefits to that membership. Just the basic stuff. A pin badge, just to feel a bit of exclusivity. Oh, look, we're great. We've got the membership. Just little things. I just feel like, I think somebody mentioned, it feels like a quite an expensive raffle ticket to kind of be in it to win it, for the chance of getting tickets to start and the other. So I don't know. I just think it's something that maybe needs looking at going forward in terms of what you get for your money there. It just feels like it's more of a case when you get this exclusive, you get your 75 quid off a 600-700 quid flight from United Airlines and so on, which is it's nice, but how many of the membership and the fan base are going to be utilizing that at this stage? I'm not too sure. So
I'm transatlantic, mate.
There you go. But yeah, I just think it could probably be looked at, and I imagine it will be looked at, and maybe just a little bit more thought about what could be given within that fee, to be honest.
Liam, you sort of had a look online. What's the sort of major sort of bugbears? Or, I mean, I would imagine there's a lot of people just saying, hang on, this club's growing, you're going to get stuff like this, behave. And then a lot of people more questioning how they're going to get tickets, because that's just a simple thing, isn't it? They want to go into the ground.
Yeah, I've had a look at a few comments, on Facebook. Someone's made the comment, as Tim has, that it's going to be like a lottery trying to get a ticket, even as a member. Might as well draw them out of a large hat. Someone said difficult to get a ticket last season, and the membership is being increased. So what chance this season? And there's definitely no mention of a cap on new members on the announcement. It's basically saying there'll be a window for previous members to renew, which I would imagine there'll be a pretty high percentage of renewals. And then after that, other people will be able to join on as well. So I think that's a good point, unless it's something that's been, mistakenly left out. If you're paying £10 extra and your chances are actually getting worse. I mean, if the National Lottery did that, I wouldn't buy a ticket if they put it up by another £1 or something and said you've got even less chance. So that's a fair point. And also someone's saying that it comes across as a money grab. But yeah, on the flip side, there has been people saying, it's in the name of progress, etc., which is something which seems to get trotted out quite a lot. But I mean, for me, I think it's just the cumulative increase. If we're talking about a £10 membership fee in isolation, you could probably say, yeah, fair enough, that's just one off. But I think it's things like the shirt price has gone up, hasn't it, this season? Match day tickets are going up, albeit only by a few quid, I think we should say, on that front, and season ticket prices have gone up. So I think maybe you just have to think about, how it impacts people. Like, I know the club will be having rising costs with some big infrastructure projects on the go. I would imagine the cost of the cop's gone up since it started, just because it's, inflation, like everything has. But I still think there's something to be said for trying to keep things as affordable as possible for the fan base.
Yeah, it's not like we're a poor club, is it? I think working in the digital industry, data is king, and I understand why they're keen to get as many members signed up as possible. Because that's your go-to shopping sort of. You know what I mean? It's they're your go-to customers, and the more you can get on them, the more you can get them signed up, the more the club will benefit. I think really and truly, it's a lot of money on top of what else we're having to pay in a cost of living crisis. But I can also see that, to be honest, we do need to move forward, and if people want to pay it, they will. Any good news, Tim? What are you wearing there? That looks quite nice.
This is the new replica home shirt, as wonderfully modelled. I look like an American footballer pulling the shoulders like that, though. It's a bit stupid. So yeah, there's been a few groans, including me, about pre-orders. Some people have different definitions of what pre-order actually means. In my head, most things when I pre-ordered, I've usually tended to get it before it arrives in the shop or whatever. And some other people have said, well, no, it just merely guarantees you the shirt. It doesn't matter when it arrives or whatever. So I was just a bit bummed out that the shirt hadn't arrived prior to them being available in the club shop, because I could have just gone to the club shop. And yes, I know it saves you the ball ache of having to queue up to get it and all that. I understand that. That's fine. And maybe, I don't know, there's still the sort of excited child in that just wants to get the shirt straight away and sling it on and walk around town like thinking you're Billy because you got your shirt on. It's not like it was back in the day where you were like the only person in two or three square miles wearing it. Everyone's got one on now, which is great. But yeah, you know what? Once it started moving. I think that World Sports on the Wrexham Industrial Estate have got an involvement in being a carrier and all this as well, because their name was on the parcel on the bag. So I think that there is an involvement there as well, which is good. Local company done well, so getting them on board is good. But yeah, shirt's good. I blasted up a quick 4-minute review on the YouTube channel the other day, and yeah, overall pretty happy.
Liam, have you got one?
I have indeed. I'm not sporting it as I got all my wear out of it yesterday, but
you had
mine
it on for the last 7 days, Liam. Is that?
Yeah, no, it came yesterday. And for all of the flack they get, I must say, I'm pretty sure it was Yodel that delivered it, and it was pretty efficient, to be honest. Got all the update messages, came as expected. It wasn't chucked on my roof or on my neighbour's cat or anything like that. So pretty pleased with that. And also the sizing worked pretty well. I went I think 1 or 2 sizes up to a large, and it's quite nice and roomy, but not too much. So yeah, I quite like it. I wouldn't say it's like a sort of 8 or a 9 out of 10, but I think probably a solid 7.5. Quite nice material. Like the detail on the back with Wrexham in Welsh down the bottom. And I also like, even though it looks slightly weird, the little V thing is very forgiving if you've got a large head. It helps you get it on a lot easier. So I'm all for convenience.
Or if you
Do
got
you
a
have
hairy
a large
chest,
head?
like Prime Ryan Giggs' hairy chest, you can show it off.
Yeah, yeah. Do
Are
you
we
have a
allowed to
large
say his
head,
name?
Liam?
Are we allowed to say his name? Because he is still pending a court
Yeah,
proceeding.
you're allowed to say his name. Of course you can.
I know. No.
He hasn't disappeared from the face of the earth, is he?
I mean, from a moral standpoint, that's all. The only thing I'm bummed out about are these sleeves now, because I just wanted it to match the size of the collar, so it could have just been half the size and just had, the trim as opposed to this weird big white gap.
Yeah. What's the fit like? Because I'm got mine yet. I'm going to wait for a bit. Well, I'm obviously quite a muscular fella. Yeah. Yeah.
Depends if you've had 2 days on the sauce at the cricket, that rowdy
Yeah.
sport.
What were you sneering at cricket for?
I'm not being. I think it's. That's why.
England and Wales, is it?
Well, it's England and Wales when there's a big sort of racist discrimination.
Why is it not the Wales and England cricket board?
Well, because England comes alphabetically before Wales, and everyone is in England, and it's in England, and it's basically just the England team.
Not if you use the Welsh word for Wales, Cymru. That comes before England, so
Oh yeah, we could do that. Yeah, all right.
Yeah,
I'll change the ECB for you. It will now be the CECB.
Okay, traitor. Next point, go
on. Right. Yeah. Just tell me what the fit's like. Is
I'd say I'd say go 1 up. I mean, I've gone. I tend to most of my t-shirts are medium these days, but I've gone 1 size up to large because I had the away shirt last season, just medium. It generally fit all right, but it could get a bit sort of slightly clingy at times. So I found the large just gives you a bit more room. So I would suggest 1 up.
Depends if you're a fluctuator or a maintainer with your weight. Which are you, Andrew?
I think I'm a maintainer.
What about you, Liam?
Me, it depends how many pies I've had
There's your answer.
in the week in question. Yeah, fluctuator. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those. Like I fitted fine in the other day. A bit of a heavy carb night on the pasta, and today's a bit of a oof. So yeah, but you know what? It's a nice shirt and befitting of winning the League 2 title, I'd say.
Cool, great. The next thing is a bit weird, isn't it? Because last week we mentioned the sponsorship on the side of the training top, and I've always been a bit of a grabby sod, so I just said, I'd love to taste some of that whiskey, and then what happened, Tim? Take it away.
Well, what happened is I got a message out of the blue from Mr. Rob McElhenney saying, how many bottles do you want? And I had no idea what he was talking about. Like literally no idea whatsoever. And I thought it was in reference to something else. And obviously I didn't record the pod with you guys last week because I was up at a music festival.
But you listened to it though, surely?
I did listen to it, but in hindsight, I hadn't listened to it by Monday or Tuesday when it came out. So anyway, I digress. So we kind of figured out what it was about. He said, it's about what the lad said on the pod about the whiskey. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So he just said, how many bottles do you want? And I was like, I don't really know what to say to this, but whatever you kind of want to, if you feel free to want to chuck some our way, then great. I just thought it was kind of a joke. But anyway, this went on for about 20-25 minute DM chat, which was fully unexpected as it was very, very pleasant. He was very complimentary about the pod and him listening in and them being held accountable for things they're doing right and wrong and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, long story short, that was Tuesday. And he said it might take a bit of time to get some liquor to the UK, and 2 boxes there or thereabouts came yesterday.
It's amazing. What a turnaround that is.
Yeah, yeah, a fair bit more than we could ever have expected or imagined. So, as a result, some, if not the majority, of that will be ring fenced for raffle prizes, competitions, etc., etc. Because
I am going to drink some.
Despite Andy's regular demeanor on the source, we are not whiskey monsters. So we will be ring fencing some of that.
I don't know yet.
But yeah, it's just simply another. I did have a little note with me that I was going to read out, and it's just suddenly disappeared. So that's kind of annoyed me. I had it with me there, but anyway, there's the whiskey.
There's on the bottom of the
bloody hell.
Look, what's on the bottom of that there? Oh, okay, no.
No, I had it in me. No, it's just like disappeared. So
yeah. So it's Four Walls whiskey. What's going to happen is once I get my bottle, I'm going to drink it live on air, and I'm going to taste test it for you guys, and then we're going to see how trolleyed I am by the end of the podcast. Let's not make it a long one, yeah. But all I can say is thanks, Rob. You didn't need to do that. But thanks for listening, and more thanks for the whiskey.
Yeah, right, I think it's safe to say.
My dad, because I'll try and give him a bottle for Christmas. So
just revealed that. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, it's just, we've seen it time after time since they've come in with their donations to charity and the food bank and the fans and Aiden Stott. I mean, it's just been regular acts of kindness, and we certainly weren't expecting to be involved, and we were more than happy with having our chat the other month, so to have something like this fully unexpected, and again, it just shows you the kind of the measure of the people that are in charge of the club. They don't have to do it. They wanted to do it, and we're massively grateful and appreciative of such a kind gesture.
Yeah, so competition raffle prizes coming soon, and thanks again, Rob.
And it shows the benefit of blagging as well and joking about products.
Are we influencers now? Are we
influencers? I should say as well, and I don't know where my note has suddenly disappeared to. That's really annoyed me, that. But anyway,
why don't you crawl around on the floor on your hands and knees while me and Andy chat for a second?
I'm not going to do it. It's just like, I don't know where it's gone. It's winding me up. Anyway, it says on the note that this Four Walls, this particular one, was obviously with Charlie Day and Glenn Howerton from It's Always Sunny. That's those guys with Rob have founded Four Walls, and this particular one is a limited edition release, which is to help. I think it was local publicans during the COVID crisis. So that's kind of the way it came about. So again, it's got more feel good factor to it, and so this is like a limited run. There's going to be a different version of Four Walls coming out in the UK soon, from what I can remember what I read on a note. I bet you it will reappear in a minute. And also, we all know that Four Walls is now adorning the side of the training top. The left leave of the training top. So great stuff.
Yeah, thanks again. Right, stadium tour. This one caught me by surprise. We can do a stadium tour. You know what? I wouldn't mind doing it, because obviously I go there very often, but it always is nice to get into the bones of it. Do we know much more about this, Liam? How much is it? How much is it going to cost me to do a stadium tour? Will Geraint do it?
Well,
I'm going on it.
If you're going to get anyone to do it, surely it's got to be Geraint or Pete Jones, or someone like that would be ideal, wouldn't they? They'd have all the stories. Here we go. Prices. So costs £10 for adults and £5 for under 11s. They'd announced a few dates in July, but from what I'm led to understand, I think they sold pretty quickly, didn't they? With Tim being first off the mark on the keyboard.
Not quite. I thought, let's just jump on it just to see what it's like, and then just give a bit of a
content. It's all content now.
It's not just that. I mean, we've all been. I think most of us have been fairly lucky to have seen the kind of inner sanctum and the workings of the racecourse ground over the course of time, and it'll be interesting to see how that's changed. I was in the changing room not that long ago after. I think, was it before we'd won the league? I think it was before we won the league, and obviously the changing room is very, very nice looking now. There's been a lot of work done to it. I'm assuming we'll get the full tour, all the stands. Maybe they're showing the plans for the Cop. Hopefully there'll be a picture opportunity with the trophy. I imagine they'll go up to the control room, all that sort of stuff. So But yeah, it'll be interesting to see because we've all been abroad and we've all done tours of like, I don't know, Barcelona or whatever. So it'll be very interesting to see how it compares. You know, it's going to be very different for obvious reasons. We're not going to have a giant trophy room yet, but this has been
Premier Cups there, mate. Come on.
Yeah, it's probably been longer with you. The amount of times people have rocked up to the racecourse and said, "Can I just have a little nip in?" And then
monetize it. Monetize it. Why not?
And it was always going to happen. And with the amount of people that are just tipping up outside the turf and wishing they could go in, but there's no organised tours. Well, it's there now, isn't it? It's there. People are going to be able to book ahead. I imagine there'll be groups, there'll be parties. I think it's only 2 a day for the first 3 days next week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I think. There's a 2 o'clock and a 4 o'clock. So yeah, it'll be interesting, you know. So we'll see.
Right. I think it's that time of week again, isn't it, Liam? Where we dance a copyright. We navigate a copyright nightmare by playing this song. Oh, hang on. I played Go On Move featuring the Mad Stuntman. Bloody hell, he didn't have more than one song, did he? But it's still about moving.
Seamless.
Oh, I've this completely up.
Do we really want to
you
give
sing
you
it
a risky
instead?
review?
You've got to sing it because you've messed it up. You can sing the song.
We don't have to sing it. All right, last try. Right.
There you go.
Right, no one tell the Mad Stuntman we're using that, please. Liam, what's in your transfer box?
Well, it's been an interesting old week on the transfer rumours front. I understand that all the in the knows are currently lying low after a much vaunted potential signing was touted on Thursday night in the form of Cal Naismith from Bristol City. Just for those who don't know about him, strikes me as quite a utility man, really. Can play a variety of positions. I think centre back, left back, defensive midfield. He was in
up front. He plays up front as well. He literally, if you're playing Champo, he's like, you remember Nicholas Alexanderson, who could do DL, DLC, DM, A. He could do it all. He can play any position. If you want any position covered, Cal Naismith will do it for you.
The ultimate Swiss Army knife man. He was Luton's player of the season before last as well, before he joined Bristol. So naturally, quite a lot of excitement building up on Thursday evening. And I would actually say as well, because people, my good source Wonderboy's been getting a lot of flack for this, but I think it's fair to say that it had been heard in a lot of circles, shall we say, and people seemed certain that this was about to happen. And then Friday comes, nothing happens, and Bristol City journalists saying, nope, nothing in it whatsoever. And I think he was actually pictured, albeit we can't date that picture, but he was in training with Bristol City in Austria, certainly that week. So it's a curious one. I've never really known it to happen before, where, you get that clamour, the sort of, this is imminent, this is happening, and all of a sudden, nope, complete denial. So I don't know. I'm fascinated by that one, to be honest. I think the thing to say about these transfer rumours as well is, just because a signing doesn't come off doesn't necessarily mean we weren't in for someone either. You get the and probably no need to get on people's backs when they don't come true. It fills all our summers with something a bit interesting when we got a few rumours doing the rounds. So I'm all for it.
Yeah, I mean, it sort of shows that we're aiming championship. I mean, when we're in non-league, we're aiming League One, and now we've gone up a division. We're still aiming 2 divisions higher than where we are now. I'm looking at him. I mean, I hadn't heard of him much, but he looks exactly the sort of player we wanted, experienced and can fill a lot of positions. And if we are lacking in certain areas, it looks like this fella Naismith could play there. So yeah, I'm a little disappointed he didn't come off, but I think these things, sometimes if they don't make it over the line at one point, they could come back again, especially as the transfer window gets to the end. Bristol City may do some business, which means that they are going to let him go. And it could just be a case that we need to wait a little bit on that. Now, we lost Nick Powell. He's gone to Stockport. Is he signed yet, Tim?
Yeah, he signed the other day, 3-year deal.
It's a gamble, that, isn't it?
It's a gamble, and it's a gamble that a lot of Stockport fans didn't like me pointing out, to be honest. You know, I'll
winding up Stockport again, have you? Come on.
No, genuinely, right. If we'd have signed him on a 3-year deal, I would have been slightly annoyed signing somebody of that age, with that sort of injury record. Sticking a 3-year deal on him is high risk, personally, and he won't come cheap, that's for sure.
No.
So you still look around at the midfield options we got. It's not that bad. I'm still absolutely convinced that Jordan Davis is going to come roaring back with a vengeance this season. I just feel like a caged animal with everything that's been going on, both in his personal life as well as injuries and stuff. So I think he'll be almost like a new player. I think he's bulked up a bit as well. So yeah, honestly, I'm genuinely not bothered. Obviously, he's a very, very good player, and from what the guys and the couple of the Stockport pods are saying, is him and that Sarcevic may well share the minutes between them in terms of their capabilities, their age, and game management, really. So look, I mean, it comes back to what we've all said, and I think there's a little bit of jumpiness that we haven't signed anybody yet, but realistically, we kind of feel like we're ahead of the curve a bit now with the squad we've got. Yeah, I think so. Definitely for the first time in probably in my lifetime supporting them. There's no real rationale to panic. I don't see why we would. We're not losing anybody, and almost certainly, we get 2 or 3 players in, that's business done.
No, is there a name we haven't mentioned yet that was dropped into WhatsApp by a certain Tim Edwards, maybe?
Oh, who told me that? Oh, somebody told me that at work, and I was like, really? Surely not. Somebody mentioned Ross Barkley. It's got to be isn't it?
Someone else has mentioned it on. Yeah.
Behave. We're more
like to get Ross from Friends and Ross Barkley. I mean, straight off the bat, I was like, there's absolutely no way he dropped because he still has designs on England international duty. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, no.
But this is Wrexham, isn't it? And it's just a daft world. You just never know.
Look, what you touched on there, Tim. For the first time, we've got our top players on 2 or 3 year deals. We do this on our terms now, rather than waiting to the end of the season, panicking that we might lose our top scorer, which happened in about 6 seasons in a row. So we don't need to make major changes to the squad, and it's a good squad who are very have a close bond. You don't need to bring in 5 players to this, and all of a sudden that knocks out the balance a little bit. So look, and the other reason about Powell is I think we were well served in that part, attacking mid, because you've mentioned Jordan Davis, but there's another player who's done fantastically well for us, Elliot Lee. And it's a year since he signed. Got a little, he's going to be our guest in a couple of minutes, where he sort of talks about non-football things, and you get to know him a little bit better. But I think Lee's been brilliant. And the one thing that stood out for me is his work rate. I looked at him and I thought, there's a lot of attacking mids. They can be quite luxury players, because that's just the nature of the position. But Lee absolutely works his socks off. Absolute credit. Liam, how highly do you rate him?
For me, he's, after Paul Mullin, he is our biggest asset, and it's quite as simple as that. Because when he first came in, he had that game against Eastleigh, first game of the season, where we were. Was it first game or first home game? Either way, we were 1-0 down and needed something special, and he came up with 2 brilliant goals. Then I felt like I think was he out of the side for a little bit, and he was
still injured. He was still struggling with fitness.
And you were sort of thinking, okay, well, where will this go? And then how it developed over the course of the season, I wasn't expecting. I was expecting the attacking side of his game to be good from that early glimpse, but it's, as you mentioned, the way he tracks back. I'm pretty sure in quite a few games towards the end of the season, he was just tracking back all the time, trying to cover for people. So I think he adds a lot, and I think it's just his passion as well. You saw him score a goal and start beating his chest and stuff like that. He seems to buy into the club. He talked about wanting a project, and sometimes that word can seem a bit low. Oh, are we just a project to you? But I think what he means by that is it's somewhere he knows that he can return to a level that he was at previously with us, because he can see the potential. And I just really like the way he's brought into the club. Yeah.
Tim, what was he like to speak to? Seems a funny, engaging lad.
Yeah, I mean, spoke to him a couple of months back. This is primarily the interview we did for the issue 6, the fanzine, which is out now. Fearless.wales. Go and buy a copy if you haven't got one, because they're running low. Please get one. Just really good, because I sort of spoke to him. It was the day after the open top bus parade through town, so he was still buzzing, still massively buzzing, and I think he's even been slightly taken aback by maybe the size and scale and stature of the club, especially from what he saw. Is that basically said that sort of turnout, it's the sort of stuff you get in the Championship, realistically, than just in terms of the number of people there. So, but he really, really, really nice guy, really nice, really engaging. And again, I mean, it's easy for us to say this, but again, a bit like Mullin, he's just doing it for the love of the sport. He just happens to be paid for doing a job he loves. I think with him, it's the football first, and I'm getting paid pretty well for it. Great, that's like an added bonus. But yeah, it's an interesting one, because he's had a lot of loans throughout his career. Did a bit of a thread the other day. He's had a lot of loan spells, but I think with him being settled again now, and he's kind of in his prime years now. So I think we're going to see.
I agree.
15 goals last season. I think 2 of those are tap-ins. The rest are all stupidly long distance, brilliant goals. So yeah, massive player for us. Huge part of the engine room, and he's a joy to watch, really, and a joy to listen to. So enjoy it. Because these are it's basically him answering your questions. We put a tweet out saying, "Give us your questions for Elliot Lee," and he pretty much answered every one of them that was put to.
Nice one. Liam, before we go through this, who do you prefer, Elliot Lee or Christopher Lee?
Christopher Lee, is he Saruman?
Yeah, he's also Scaramanga in The Man with the Golden Gun.
In my mind, he's Saruman, so he's a bad wizard. So Elliot Lee for me, he's a good wizard.
Okay.
Elliot Lee or Bruce Lee, Andy?
Oh, I don't know. Do they have to fight? Because
yes.
I think Bruce was going to win that. But
you reckon?
Yeah. Well, not at the moment. Right, let's quickly get on to this this interview. Take it away, Elliot Lee.
Mr. Elliot Lee, I'm going to hit you with some questions, and an obvious one from yesterday at the time of recording this. Tony Snell, how did it feel on that bus, the open top parade yesterday? Did it kind of exceed your expectation of what you'd bought into, first and foremost?
Yeah, I think it probably exceeded most people's expectations. In answer to how did I feel, I think there were certain points, a lot of the time I had goosebumps. So I was at the front with Moles, and we both sort of looked at each other and just like, wow, like this is what all the hard work was for. This is why we joined Wrexham. Yeah, it was quite emotional. I was trying to, obviously you all sing the songs and I was trying to take it in as well. I was trying to just embrace what we've done, and I've been trying to do that for the last 10 days, to be honest with you. But everything's just been so manic. But then yesterday, just to cap off the celebrations, I tried to take a little moment just to look around and see what we've achieved, and just to see the smiles on people's faces, and they just I said, like me and Mo said to each other, like just like the pure happiness that on people's faces. There was tears of joy, there was grins from ear to ear, and the flares going, and just the whole energy around the town is something special, and it's nice to have played a part in being able to bring that to people and to bring the joy back to Wrexham.
Yeah, I mean, everywhere you looked, it wasn't just old people, it wasn't middle-aged folk like myself. There was just like hordes of kids that were crying or excited. I mean, that must be a massive buzz for you as players to see that this isn't just about the here and now. This is about future generations, and when this stadium gets to 15,000-20,000, that these guys are going to be the ones waiting in the wings to take their seats there.
Yeah, it's so much bigger than any one person. I mean, it's the club is special. The whole place is special, and yesterday, you see that. I think I was speaking to a policewoman on the way back. She was walking me to my car, and she said to me, "Did you enjoy that?" I said, "I loved it." I said, "How did you find it?" She said, "Yeah, we were expecting 20,000. There was about 40,000 people that turned up." And I mean, that for what used to be a National League club is incredible. That for a League Two club is incredible. That for a League One club is incredible. For a Championship club, that would be incredible.
Yeah.
So to see that, and like you say, to see the kids, the middle-aged, the older-age people who have seen it all from Wrexham, and people who are just, we're inspiring to come and join Wrexham. And it's just, yeah, it was quite emotional at times on the bus, to be honest with you. It was quite emotional. And then obviously you look back and you see Rob and Ryan and the staff and the women and what they've achieved as well, and how we've all done it together. We brought, and the fans are involved as well, like how we've all done this together, how the town, the city has all come as one, and now is all as one, and just enjoying Wrexham and enjoying life, and just, like I said, to see the smiles on the faces and to know what we've achieved all together as one is it's a really special feeling. I've got goosebumps talking about it now, to be honest with you. I've not stopped talking about it since yesterday. I'm back home now in London. Yeah, I'm back home now in London and talking to my family who I haven't seen for a while, and just telling them all about it. And yeah, it's just it gives me goosebumps every time I talk about it.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? It's one of those that is the gift that keeps on giving, I think, for sure. So slightly curveball question, tea or coffee?
Neither. I don't drink either. Some of the lads battle me for it as well. Some of the lads don't like it. Yeah.
Not even like a herbal tea? Nothing.
No, nothing. I don't drink tea or coffee, and the lads can't believe it. If we ever go to a Starbucks or anything to get a hot chocolate, and they call me a baby.
That's what keeps the pearly whites white. That is. That's what it's all about. Happy days. Which youth player do you think has a big future at the club, and why? Is anybody that you picked out?
Which youth player? Good question.
It's difficult because it's been an established squad for a while. You've got the likes of Max and whatnot in and around the club.
Yeah.
Difficult.
Trying to think. I don't know. I don't know if Bickers, Jake Bickerstaff would count as a youth player. He's one of the younger players, but I think.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I mean, a younger player that's not really established in the first team yet.
Yeah, so I'd probably say Bickers. Bickers, he trains so hard every day. He's great attitude. He stands out in training. And I think for Bickers next year, it's about pushing on with us and maybe going out alone and playing more first team football, because he's been unlucky not to play football this year, really, for us. And when he has played, he's scored goals, and that's what Bickers does. So if I had to say one, I'd probably say Bickers. Yeah.
No, good shout. Good shout. Andy Ball, which ground is the worst you've ever played at? That's loaded, but you can slag off a club you don't like. It's fine.
Yeah, I will. The one that comes to my head straight away is probably Maidenhead.
Yeah.
One of my best mates plays for Maidenhead as well, and he warned me about it, and so did the lads, to be fair. And it was not an enjoyable evening, especially conceding the last minute as well. It was not enjoyable.
Yeah, I mean, is that purely because of that reason? Is it just because it's quite enclosed there as well?
Yeah, it just wasn't a nice place to play. It didn't really feel like a stadium. And with all due respect, in this league, there was a few stadiums like that. They don't feel like stadiums. There is smaller clubs, and they don't. It's hard to. I mean, you're going from racecourse playing in front of 10,500 people with an unbelievable atmosphere, and that's what the lads handled so well this year. To the next week, we're going to a lesser club with lesser fans in stadiums that don't really feel like stadiums, and that with all due respect to them. But to point out one, I'd probably say Maidenhead. It wasn't a nice place to go.
No, that's a fair point. Fair point. Slightly cheeky question, this one, but I love the fact it goes hand in hand with a certain Elliot Lee chant. So Gareth Collins has asked, did your mum go to Brazil on holiday in 1993?
She might have. Don't tell me dad, though.
Oh, dear me. I mean, you must love that. And I know you've mentioned it several times before about the White Pele chant and all that, but it must be a buzz. Like, when you get into a team and you make an impact, like some players have, and they're still without songs. Maybe it's tougher to sort of factor in songs and all that, but it must be great to hear it.
Yeah, it's the best feeling ever. And I mean, the fans have sung it from my first game of the season, literally every game since they've sung it. And the feeling doesn't change. The feeling from when they sung it after I scored the 2 goals at Eastleigh to the feeling when they sung it after I scored against Boreham Wood, from the feeling to them singing it yesterday at the bus parade was it's just incredible. It gives just another one. It gives you goosebumps. I remember after I scored against Boreham Wood, the noise was, even some of the lads came up to me after the game and said, "Did you hear your song after you scored?" I was like, "Yeah, I actually heard it." Sometimes you miss it, like you're so involved in the game, but you could hear it. I think every player heard it. Everyone heard that song after I scored, and it was just like, wow, like it's so special just to have that connection with the fans, and it just gives you that extra bit that sometimes, even if you're having a bad game and they're still singing your song, it's like, right, well, I'm not going to stop trying for them because they're still singing my song. And yeah, it's special. It is special to have that connection with the fans, and every time they sing it, I don't take it for granted. It really means a lot to me.
Is this connection with the fans something like that you've never really had before? I imagine that's the same for a lot of the players, because I think I spoke to Mickey Thomas, the legend that he is, a while back, and he said that one of the big factors for Wrexham is the relationship between the fans and players, because it's proper tight now. We can see that even if a result isn't what we might have wanted, it wasn't for the want of trying to get the 3 points. I mean, so all fans can ever ask is just hard work and effort, and I think they see that, and I think that's what makes that relationship special now.
Yeah, I don't think it stops there. I think it's the owner's relationship with the fans, the owner's relationship with the staff, the owner's relationship with us, and the staff's relationship with us and the fans. It doesn't stop there. And I said that when I joined. I said when you've got a club and a community all on the same wavelength, everyone singing off the same hymn sheet and working towards one goal, then special things can happen. And that's what we have here. We have unbelievable owners. We have an unbelievable manager and staff who we work with day to day, and an unbelievable group of players who I can guarantee you will give everything for that shirt week in, week out. No matter if we're winning or we're losing, it is grained into us every day. We are giving everything, because that's the characters we have in the squad, and that's what the fans deserve. They deserve no less than that, because of the unbelievable support we get week in, week out, and that's why this club is so special, because of the relationships throughout.
Yeah, no, well said. Kat has asked, best opponent you've played against this season.
Best opponent I've played against.
Is there anybody that stands out you're thinking, can I shake this guy?
Probably wouldn't be that I couldn't shake him. It'd be more like a respect for Ruben Rodriguez at Notts County. He's very good.
Yeah.
I thought me and Tom O'Connor, he's on our side. Me and Tom O'Connor dealt with him fairly well in the game at home. But you can tell a player when he's on the ball, and he's a very good player. And all due respect, Notts County, they're full of great players. They have a great team, and hopefully they do go up with us. But if I had to point out one, it'd probably be Rodriguez.
Yeah, no, fair play. Beardy, if you could compare yourself, I'm not calling you Beardy, by the way, but if you compare yourself to any footballer, past, present, who and why? Because we've got LA Thing, obviously, but if you can pick somebody, who would it be?
That's a tough question.
Even if you were in, I suppose it falls in line with who you may have been inspired by. You can pick anybody, including your old man, I guess,
Yeah, I probably don't. I'm not comparing myself to him, but I like to base my game on like a Wayne Rooney, and I've always loved Rooney growing up. When I was growing up, I was a striker. I played behind the front man, and I was a striker like him. But obviously, even he, to be fair, he moved back into centre midfield towards the end, and I just like how robust he is and how tenacious he is, and he gets the ball, wants to do positive things with it. He gives everything to win the game. On and off the ball, he gets stuck in. And that's who I'm not comparing myself to him, but that's who I like to base my game on, and try to emulate, and just go out there in every game and do my best and give my all.
Well, one played in America, and you're about to play in America, so similarities already. So with that. Nina Robinson's asked, closest Wrexham teammate. Who do you buddy up with? Who's your roommate? Who's your closest one?
It'd be do you know what?
I imagine it's quite a lot.
We're all so close as well, so it's a tough one. It's such a tight-knit group, but I'd probably, to name a few, I'd probably have to say Fordy's my roommate, so I have to go Anthony Ford, Moles, and Andy Cannon. Andy Cannon coming in has been brilliant. I'm very close with him as well. So just to name a few, but like I said, we're all so close.
Has he got over that whole lion business yet, or what?
No, he still goes on about it now. We were talking about it yesterday. We was talking. It was me, him, and Rob McElhenney, and he was like, Rob, I still can't shake it. I get people coming up to me in Manchester telling me they've seen the Lion. He's just a great character.
His flag is incredible.
I know, yeah.
It's just mad.
No, he's a great character.
I mean, Fozzie stitched him up there with that one, isn't he?
Fozzie's absolutely killed him.
Yeah, he murdered him big time. Similar to what we said before, Lee Burford's asked most underrated player in the squad. So rather than a young player, most underrated player. Quite a few.
Most underrated. I'm going to go with Sam Dalby.
Yeah, I like that.
I've thought from the moment he came in, just training with him every day. I love training with him. I love playing with him. Just like to bounce the ball off him. He's like a wall. Like he just, for me, for someone who likes to play 1-2s around the box, and all I know is if Daubs is there, I'm bouncing it off him and I'm going again, because he's a big player. He's a big guy. He's a tight man, but he's so cultured in the way he plays. His first touch is so good, and he can bulldoze past people as well. And you've seen Chesterfield goal, he left people for dead and then cut in. And so yeah, if there's one player I'd say is not that he's not rated, just underrated, because I think he's going to be an incredible player. I think we have a real great player in Daubs.
Yeah, no, without doubt. Jack Springer has asked, what level do you feel that this current squad can play at? Because you've obviously played at a higher level. We're going to be playing at a higher level. The comparisons have been there for a while now about people dropping down, and that it should be equipped for a certain level. In your eyes, where do you see it, where it's at the moment?
I'd probably say this current squad would be top half League One, maybe just outside the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think it's an incredible squad. The talent we have. I mean, some of the lads not even making the bench towards the end of the season is incredible, and it's just so hard for the gaffer because of the 5 subs. But luckily next year we have the 7 subs, and but yeah, I think a few of us have said that. We've had the conversation as well, a few of the lads, and we think that we'd be around just like top half League One, because League One is tough. There's some big teams in League One now, and there's some incredible squads. But yeah, I think we'd be top half League One, definitely.
Take that one. We'll take that one. What else? This has probably been well documented, but Steve Davis has asked biggest factor in coming to Wrexham. I imagine we can talk about the project in inverted commas and all this stuff as well. But was like the deciding factor, if I'm right, and to read it somewhere, that you just wanted to get a follow of Ryan Reynolds first and foremost on Insta, like that'll seal it.
No, I wouldn't exactly say that. No, I think I said once when I left Luton, I was a free agent. I'd spoke to my dad, I spoke to my agent, and when I joined Luton, it was a building process. It was, like you say, inverted commas, a project, and something I want to be part. I wanted to be part of something like bigger than myself. I didn't just want to go to a League One club and just be there and just be happy with mediocre seasons, and I wanted to be part of something bigger than myself. And when Wrexham came calling, there was a conversation with my agent and my dad, and my agent said, should I even mention it to him? My dad was like, yeah, he's a big Ryan Reynolds fan, because I do love Ryan. Once I spoke to the manager, he was incredible with what he was saying, and to be honest, everything he said has come true. And once I spoke to him, it was sort of a no-brainer for me. It really excited me, and when I spoke to the manager, I felt valued. And I think you should always go in life and in football where you feel valued, and I felt valued by the manager. And like I said, just everything to do with Wrexham excited me. And I was literally just speaking to my mum there like half an hour ago, and she was like, I bet you couldn't believe that where you'd be now like a year ago. And I couldn't. I knew. Obviously, when you go to anywhere new and you take on any new challenge, you don't know how it's going to turn out. It could have gone really bad, but luckily for me, it's probably gone better than I even ever expected. So yeah, it was just it's the best decision.
I'm still here. The lights are going out. I don't know what's happened there. This is what happens here at work. Light timers. There we go. Happy days. Back in the room. Apologies. Carry on.
Right. So honestly, it's probably best decision I ever made in my life. I love playing for Wrexham. Love going in to see the lads every day. Just enjoy training. Just happy just enjoying it. I'm very, very grateful that I decided to come in.
Amazing. Good to hear. Sarah C. She's asked, where are you always the kid with the muckiest football kit? Because somebody pointed this out to me yesterday. So most of the lads, when they come off the pitch, you can still see the whites on the shorts, but Elliot's covered in mud.
You know what? Ewan has a go at me every Monday for this. He's like, "El, I've been spent the whole weekend scrubbing your kit again." But no, yeah, I just like, I don't know what it is. I like getting stuck in. I've always liked getting stuck in. I like a slide tackle. The lads give me a bit of stick for my slide tackles, and yeah, like I said, I just want to. If I come off with a clean kit, maybe I think I've not done enough. I want to get stuck in. I want to get dirty. I want to get my hands dirty. I want to do the hard yards. I want to do the dirty work, and I want to put myself about. So
that's a Rooney trait as well, isn't it? The slide tackle. I'm sure he put
exactly.
Some better than others.
But I've got a few right this season, but I've got a few slide tackles wrong as well. So
still looks good, doesn't it? It still looks good. Regardless.
No, you'll have to speak to Ewan about that one because he's not happy with me.
Fuming. Oh, well, we'll get him on. Actually, I'm sure. I think him and Charlie as a double act on the pod would.
Yeah, get him back on.
Can't decide if it would be a good idea or a bad idea. Let's just do it and see what we'll find out. Andy Gilpin, who I do this entire thing with, can you tell us the kind of process why you chose the number 38 shirt?
Obviously, number 38 is in memory of my friend Dylan Tombides, who I grew up in the West Ham United Academy with, and unfortunately passed away with testicular cancer. So there's like a few of us in a friendship group. I've got a tattoo for him on my wrist, and obviously it just felt the right thing to do. I think West Ham retired his number 38 shirt, and ever since, whenever I can, at any club I've been at, I've worn the 38. And sometimes I'd wear and I like to wear a number for something. So I like the number 10. I wore the number 38 and then the number 10 at Luton, and obviously Super Paul's got that one. And also I'd wear the number 7 because that was my dad's number, but one of our own, Jordan Davies, has got that one. So it felt right taking the 38. And to be honest, whenever I've worn the 38, I've had a successful season. So I plan to keep on wearing it in pride and in memory of Dill.
Yeah, long may it continue. Barton Bank, what was your initiation by the squad when you arrived? Was it a certain song, certain dance?
Do you know what? We don't have to do one. We don't have to do a song, which I was buzzing about when I first joined. I don't mind the little sing song, but it was like I'd walk in the dressing room, I really didn't know anyone, and I'd have to sing, but I didn't have to do one. But one thing they did make me do was we did like a quiz when we were away in Spain in pre-season. And it was like the losing team. So there's like 5 teams on each on different tables. And the losing team, someone bought like a leopard print bucket hat and a leopard print, like, I'm talking like Y fronts, like slips, like Speedos. And it was like the losing team, the worst player on that team, had to wear them for the day, like breakfast, everything. And my team was the losing team. And we also had the gaffer on our team as well. So obviously the gaffer, I think, got like voted worst player in the team, but he was never wearing it. So then the buck got passed to me. So all throughout the day, I had to wear this only like leopard print bucket hat and a leopard print Speedos. I think there's a picture of it somewhere. I think the physio, I think Kev's got the picture.
That is wild. Yeah. That is wild.
To be fair.
Did the gaffer have to take some sort of fine for passing the buck, seeing as he was the pissed?
I think the deal was if I wore it, then the gaffer let us out for a few more hours that night for a few beers.
At least you're in Spain, so you weren't going to be freezing your
No, I wasn't freezing, to be fair. No, I think I pulled it off.
Yeah, no, that's a strong look. It's a strong look. I'm not sure if it'll work in America. Mind you, it might. I mean, they're quite wacky. Welsh Techie, what beard project do you use? Because I think he described his beard as looking like Wurzel Gummidge's underpants or something like that. So he wants to know what beard products you use.
There's actually no product. I just get it trimmed by my barber who does it. I never really do it myself, so I get my hair and my beard done by the barber, and that's it really. There's no product. It's just I think I'm naturally lucky to have the beard. I don't know where it comes. Do you know what? There's no one in my family with a beard, so the beard might come from that Brazilian guy back in 1993.
Is it Socrates? Didn't he have a beard?
Must be him, yeah.
Yeah, that'll do. We'll have that. That's a good full circle moment right there. I've got a few more, mate, and I'll let you go. Neil Hayes, at what point did you realise we would win the league? Was there any defining moment? I mean, for me, it was Fozz's save, but was there anything for you that you thought, we'll be all right. We're going to go on and do this? Or was it very much? I know all the players said we take it by game, and we take it. But there must have been something, even if it was privately.
Do you know what? For me, it was literally the 92nd minute against Boreham Wood.
Really?
But leading up to that, don't get me wrong, it's so hard to not have those. I think we were probably guilty. It's so hard not to have those thoughts of what if this could be like in those last 6 games or whatever. Yeah. What if this happens? What if that happens? Oh my God, we're so close. Like, so then obviously going to Halifax and then putting on a performance like that, it was like, then you go the complete opposite and everyone's like, Jesus, we might not do this here. We might not do this. We're going to let so many people down. And in the end, me and Moles were talking about a few weeks ago, we were just like, we haven't even like not enjoying these games, like, because there's so much pressure and each win is just like, right, okay, on to the next one. Like, it's just relief. We've won it. Let's go again. Like, and then, but the best thing I think I'd say is that, well, even after we lost against Halifax, it was the best reaction from the boys. It was like, this will be the best thing that happens to us. This is going to spur us on. We're not just going to dance our way over this line. It's not easy winning titles. We need to up our game again. So I genuinely think the best thing that ever happened to us was that Halifax game. And then obviously beating Notts County, and with Fozzie's save, I did, after that Notts County game, I was like, is it written in the stars here, Fozzie's saving that in the last minute? And is it written in the stars? And then I started thinking, the way the season's gone, this is going right down to the last game of the season. All these thoughts go through your head. But yeah, to be honest, it was like, even when Fads gets sent off a Barnet, it's like, is this not our season? And then you get the draw and then you go and win the next 2. And it's like, honestly, I didn't crack a smile in the Boreham Wood game until about the 92nd, 93rd minute. I looked around and I was like, do you know what? I had goosebumps. I was like, I think we've done it. Like, we've done it now. And that was the only moment I've said we've won this title, because it was such a relentless season. There was no game you could go into thinking, okay, like, we can afford a loss here. We can afford it. It was just so relentless with Notts County. And yeah,
you sort of cracked a smile with that opening goal, or the equaliser, I should say.
Yeah,
there was a cracking of smiles.
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
One thing that sticks with me with that, we went behind, and then the noise levels went higher, which blew my mind.
Again, I think the best thing that happened during that game was them scoring early. I think even their manager might have said it, like they woke the beast up. Do you know what I mean? It got everyone even more like, right, come on then. The best thing that happened was them scoring. Then we had the whole game to up our game even more and go and score 3 goals. And yeah, it was unreal to score that goal and get us back level. And then obviously Moles does what he does and scores 2 unbelievable goals. And then literally, just for the next 20 minutes or whatever it was after Moles scored, it was like, just don't concede, don't make this nervous, and don't make this nervous, because that's what I thought. It's just like Wrexham. We're going to make this nervous right at the end. We're going to go 3-2 here. But the lads were incredible, and we saw it out. And like I said, 92nd minute, I think it got to, and I just said to myself, yeah, we've done it here.
What was the what was the first thing that happened when the fans piled on? Did you just get taken aloft and you were on somebody's shoulder?
I got headlocked, I got kissed on the mouth, I got kissed on the cheek, I got hugs, I got all people saying stuff to me. Honestly, I couldn't even speak. I was just speechless. It's just all that hard work had just come down to that one moment when that whistle goes, and it's just like, wow, like, we've done it. And to see all the fans and so happy, and then getting put on people's shoulders with the atmosphere around, and it was just incredible. Yeah,
it was mad. Yeah, it was something special. Our friend from Alabama, Mr. Michael Starkey, he wants to know what your leg and glute workout is all about, because he's got a thing for your legs and ass. Straight guy, but he's like, he's got appreciation for your final legs. I'm guessing you're pressing some serious weights in the gym.
No, there is no program. If anything, I do the least gym out of all the team. Just natural. I got chunky legs. I got a fat ass and chunky legs. That's what my dad said, and I use it to my advantage. So yeah, there's no
people out the way.
Exactly. Yeah, I use my ass to my advantage.
It's a good thing to have. I've got 3 more, and I will let you scoot. So Gareth, how was the standard of National League football compared to what you were expecting? Did it kind of exceed it, or was it, when you came into it, having played at a high level, did it surprise you, or was it a case of, I can get into the flow of this now? I mean, it's a lot more competitive than what it has been in recent years, I think.
Yeah, it was probably, looking back, I've not really thought about it, but looking back, it was probably as to what I expected, I think there's a big gulf in the quality between the bottom of the National League and the top of the National League.
Yeah,
I'd say, sorry, like the top 7-8 teams are League Two teams, really. League Two, obviously Notts County League One, and Chesterfield maybe even League One. Then the teams down the bottom, there was a big gulf in the quality, and no, it's the hardest league I've played in some sense. It's the hardest league I've played in. To try and get that top spot, and only that top spot is like I said, just a relentless season. And obviously, like I said, it's not easy going to some of the horrible places. I mean, I don't know if the fans think like every game's the same, but like as footballers, like we know every game is so different. Like going to different stadiums is different, and it's just like it is so difficult, this league. It's probably, do you know what? It's probably harder than I thought it'd be. Actually, it's probably harder, like just getting out of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say there's a big quality between like the bottom half of the league and the top half of the league. But no, there's definitely some teams that are League Two, League One quality as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Coming back to the hair, Dan has asked reason for the hairstyle change mid-season.
Do you know what? I had this trim when I was a few years ago. I think, do you know what? I think I had it when I got promoted with Luton from League One and we won the league. But I was just fed up with the long hair, really. I just wanted to go short and just give that a go. And to be honest, I'm going to keep it now because I've just realised that I did have this haircut for winning League One with Luton. So it must be a good omen.
It's a superstitious grade 4.
Yeah.
That's what it needs to be. Chris, biggest difference in living up north? I mean, technically, are you still based down south? Are you commuting, or have you moved up here now?
I'm up north. I'm about half an hour from Wrexham, so I'm just Nantwich way. So do you know what? I love it. I love living up north. I love living near Wrexham. It's a lot more peaceful. Me and my partner both love it. Just like I'm used to traffic jams and motorways, and just don't get up. My drive to training is country lanes, it's farms, it's hills. I love it. I absolutely love it. My mum's not happy because she thinks I'm never moving back now, but it's just all part of it. Honestly, it all makes it this year's just been incredible for me. I don't think I've stopped smiling, and that's all from joining Wrexham and living where I live, and just everything on and off the pitch has been. It's been a dream season. It's been a dream year, and I'm like I said, I'm just buzzing that I came to Wrexham.
Yeah, and the last one from the ones, because we had loads of questions, so I didn't want to like overburden you with them. But one piece of advice your dad ever gave you when you said you were turning pro, is there anything that you can recall at the time?
One piece of advice my dad has always told me and my brothers to enjoy it. He said that his career, it goes in the blink of an eye, and what he'd do now to be back playing in his heyday and in the dressing room having a laugh every day. And so he tells us all the time, just enjoy it. Even in the down times, he says, just enjoy it, because before you know it, it will be over. And that's the biggest thing that me and my brother have taken from it, because whenever I go into training and maybe I'm having a down day or I'm just tired, I'm like, you know what would my dad do to be back out there playing? And what would my dad do to be going into training with the lads today? And even though I'm tired, all right, who cares? Like, go and enjoy it, put a smile on your face. And that's what I've done this season. Don't get me wrong, it's not hard going into training. Like I said earlier, like all the lads, I think all the lads love coming into training every day. It's such a good atmosphere with the staff and the lads together. And yeah, that's the main thing I've taken from my dad, and it's just enjoy it, and that's what I'm doing.
Does that assist? Because I know you've touched on the mental health aspect of being a footballer in the past. I mean, that must obviously help with that if you're working in a happy environment, because we're at work for a long time, so if you're in a happy working environment with good people around you, that makes the whole mental health and depression aspect makes it so much more easier to deal with, I suppose.
Well, 100%. And don't get me wrong, I've been in bad changing rooms with some dodgy characters, and you're just like, oh, I've got to face that again today, and negative people and people you can't be bothered to see, and bad training sessions, and like I said, that we haven't got it perfect at Wrexham either. We come into the stadium every day. We have some days this year we haven't had a training ground to train at, but we just get on with it. We laugh at it. Like, this is Wrexham. This is part of the journey. This is why we're here. Like, and like I said, we have some great training grounds when we go there, but sometimes we have to drive 20 minutes to a training ground and back, and like I said, sometimes we don't have a training ground. But it's still like you come in, you laugh and you smile because you're surrounded by good people. You're surrounded by people who cheer you up and you can have a laugh with. Honestly, it's like going into training with like your mates every day. And how can you not enjoy that? We're lucky enough to play this sport, and yeah, it's come with a lot of pressure, but it's also it's the best job in the world, and especially playing for Wrexham. And like I said, playing with your mates, even the staff, like we all get on so well, and everyone enjoys coming in, and that's created from everyone. Again, the fans, the owners, the staff. It's created from everyone. It's an atmosphere, environment, and going into that environment every day is a massive reason why we've been so successful, and why the lads are so happy and have done so well.
Yeah. And favourite goal that you've scored this season? Because you don't tend not to do any sort of tap-ins, to be honest.
It'd either have to be probably my first one against Eastleigh or my one against Boreham Wood, just for what it meant, just for getting us back in the game at a crucial time.
Yeah.
And yeah, that first one against Eastleigh, just to announce myself and show people what I'm about was a great feeling as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. So yeah, you're off to Las Vegas. I hope it's not going to be like the Hangover movie. You're going to come back minus half your beard and then a mullet or something stupid like that. That'd be wild. But like, no, Elliot, thanks so much for taking the time out. I appreciate it massively.
Yeah.
As soon as we get it in fanzine and all, we'll wing a couple of copies over to you and all that. And
yeah, that'd be great.
And yeah, just enjoy it because massively well deserved. Honestly, it's just, you know, we've seen some right shit over the years, guys. Trust me, trust me. It's been a hellish ride at times. So yeah, this season and last season has just been like an absolute privilege, you know. Just
incredible. Yeah, loved everything.
Thanks, Elliot Lee. That was really entertaining. Look, Elliot's more or less nailed his place in the team. But we're still talking about who we would start next season in particular positions. So I think we've done the centre backs. Let's do the wing backs. So right hand side, Liam, who would you have? Who are you going for?
I think we're spoilt for choice at right wing back. I think based off the impact he had on our season towards the end, I would go for Ryan Barnett to start off with, just because I think he offers something that we haven't really seen in a winger in quite a while, which is someone who can take his man on, get to the byline and get a quality ball in. But then again, I do wonder, you know, some games if we needed to play perhaps more defensively, I think maybe that's more Anthony Ford's strength. So it's good that we've got that versatility. But to start the season, I'll say Ryan Barnett.
Yeah, same for you, Tim.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the impact he's made since he's come in is ridiculous. Really good. Old-fashioned, straightforward, get down the wing, no messing around, cross it. That's what he does. So, you know, brilliant player. So yeah, definitely him for me.
I agree with Liam actually, which I'm ashamed to say, but I do actually think Fordy is better defensively. I think Bryce has got 1 year left on his deal. I think he needs a season where he stays free of injury, and then we can really see what he can do. Good thing with Bryce is he can play both positions, and we might need that at some point. So yeah, I think all three of us going for Ryan Barnett on the right to start with at least. But you know, as we've said before on this podcast, he's very good going forward, and we spent a lot of time in non-league going forward. We're going to be tested a lot more the other way in League Two. And so, you know, Ryan, there was still a few question marks about his defensive side, but, you know, anything that you've thrown at him so far, he's absolutely risen to. Other side, I think it's quite straightforward for me. I think if Jacob Mendy is fit, you play Jacob Mendy. McFadden's always been a backup for me. Doesn't really let you down, but I just think Mendy's got more in his weaponry. You know, he's just quick. He can score goals. That was a lovely finish against County. And, you know, he's had some tough parts because he's gone to a full-time professional team for probably the first time in his career. But he absolutely came through when we needed him right at the end. So, yeah, for me, it's Mendy. And I wouldn't surprise me if we brought in another left wing back as well. Liam, what do you think? Mendy?
Yeah, definitely. I've got a story. I don't know if I've ever mentioned it actually about Jacob Mendy. So there I was on the night of
Do we have to
the
listen to it
Wrexham
again?
promotion. Oh, sorry. Have you heard that one? Right. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'll
I think
move
there's a
on.
blue plaque in that pizzeria now. You said it so much.
There should be. Yeah, Mendy for me, just because, as you said, he's shown what he can do going forward. I watched that goal against County back again this week, probably for the umpteenth time. But to take it, in your stride like that and put it where he did was superb. And I do also think though that it's an area that we do need to see some sort of backup. Again, spurious rumours, but linked with the likes of Declan, John. Wouldn't mind seeing him come into Wrexham, but I think as things stand, I think Mendy's done enough to show that he deserves a start in League Two for us.
Yeah, and he's an international. Tim, where do you stand?
Yeah, no brainer. 100% Mendy, Gambian international. He's got the physicality, he's got the temperament. He can weigh in with a goal or two. Athletic. Yeah, I just think the greatest respect to Callum. I think if you were going to face up to any player, you would probably least likely to come up against Mendy.
Yeah.
Just because of his overall physique and his athleticism. Like I said, the burst of pace he's got. I think it's kind of gone under the radar a bit. His pace, his ability to burn people is amazing. So big player for us. Like anybody, stay injury free. He's a key part of that defense and attack. So yeah, Mendy all day long. I'm gonna have to get the guys at the All Gone Hollywood account to do a Randall and Mendy, like when Randy met Mendy, like when Harry met Sally. When Randy met Mendy,
faking an orgasm in a pizza place.
He wasn't faking it on the nights where I've heard.
I can't remember what pizza he had. I should really know that. Oh God, that'll bug me for a while. I'll let you know. I'll let you know if I remember.
If you are Jacob Mendy and you would like, if you are Jacob Mendy and you would like to tell us your pizza order that night, please email in. It is fidzine@gmail.com.
That's the one. If any pizzerias want to send any free samples,
no
problem. I will not fit into this shirt.
It weighs heavy on me. I can't take any more. I can't take any. It was a lovely gesture.
Take the whiskey, though. You'll take the whiskey. Shocker.
I just want to try the whiskey.
Yeah.
Right. Next week.
I found the note, by the way. I found the note. But
go on, read it to us.
Okay. Tim, Andy, Liam, and Reese. Rob asked us to send you some bottles of the new whiskey brandy created with Glenn Howerton and Charlie Day. It was made in a limited run in the US and profits directly benefited the COVID-affected bartending community. It was also recently released as a Master of Malt exclusive in the UK. A wider release of a new version of Four Walls is coming out later this year. You lot may also notice Four Walls on the drinking arms of the players' warm-up kits during their upcoming USA Invasion tour. Smiley face.
Cool.
No name, but just Master of Malt. I'm assuming it's from the Master of Malt.
The Master Malteteer.
Master Malteteer. Oh, yeah.
Now that's brilliant. Next week we're going to do a US special, and remember, I'm going across. I'm going to be selling fanzines, but my missus is going home for the last 3 days, so I don't have anything to do for the last couple of days in Philadelphia. So anybody wants a beer, drop us a line. And look after me in there.
I might be going.
Have you got a good weight limit in your bag?
Sorry.
So have you got a good weight limit for your baggage?
Don't worry about that. I will.
Because there's a very hefty box of fanzines making its way down to you via my courier. So just putting that out there that you might need to buy extra.
Yeah, I've got plenty of as well.
Yeah. We'll see. But anyway, more on that next week. I think that's it. Thanks for listening. I'm sorry I was in such a Carlsberg-induced malaise with Walkabout's hit list ringing in my ears.
Be asking for free Carlsberg next. Get that little drop there.
I don't want No, I've drank too much Carlsberg. Right. Anyway, come on, let's go. Thank you very much for listening. See you all next week.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone. Drink Four Walls whiskey.